Ladies and gentlemen, is there a hidden plan by Ruto and Rigathi Gachagua to apprehend and prosecute their predecessor, former President of Kenya, Mr. Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta? Not only that, are they harboring a hidden plan to arrest the entire members of the National Security Council? What is the National Security Council and what is its main role and what are the members? You see, the establishment of a National Security Council exists in our Constitution, and it sacredly says in Article 240 that this very special council exercises supervisory powers over other security organs, and it exists of the following members. It is obviously headed by the President of Kenya. The Deputy President must be there. The Chief of Staff is there. Attorney General is a member there. Cabinet Secretaries in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Defense, and Internal Security is there. The Director of National Intelligence Service is a member. And of course, the Director, the DCI boss, Director of Criminal Investigations. Now, our president started complaining before he ascended to power that barely 2 years after they formed their second term with the President Uhuru Kenyatta, they fell out and they were not reading from the same page. And so the president literally kicked him out of the meetings that were taking place among the members of the Security Council. And he explains that part of the reasons why he was kicked out is because he questioned what he calls were some killings, extrajudicial killings, that he really felt very bad about. And he says that at some moment, he tried calling the director of intelligence, Mr. Philip Kameru, but he was not picking his calls.
Until 3 years ago, if you spoke to the director of intelligence, and I am saying it because I know somebody is listening somewhere, these are issues I have raised with him when he could still pick my phone, right? These are the things that I had serious concerns about what was happening in many parts of our country, in Moyale, and I remember even calling him one time and telling him, really? I mean, it cannot have gotten here, right? I have raised those issues. And I have raised many other issues concerning extrajudicial killing.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you look at the events that took place in the last few days, the events that led to the disbandment of the special service unit that existed in the office of the DCI, it has really, those events have really opened Pandora's box and have really sent fears among Kenyans who feel that the Ruto administration have got a hidden agenda to avenge, to punish, and to arrest the members of the Security Council. In this video, ladies and gentlemen, I want us to try and look at any possibility of the Ruto Rigathi administration avenging by apprehending and prosecuting his predecessor, Mr. Uhuru Kenyatta, and the entire members that constituted the last National Security Council. Just before we do this, if you're watching our videos for the first time, ladies and gentlemen, just take a moment and subscribe to our channel. This is the kind of support that you can give to the channel. Don't forget to click the notification bell so that whenever we do a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. And to all our subscribers, thank you very much. The only thing I will request from you, if you are already subscribed, kindly give this video a thumbs up, share it if you can, and if you give it a thumbs up, if it gets very many thumbs up, if it gets very many likes, YouTube will recommend it to more viewers, and of course the channel will grow. As I mentioned earlier, our president has complained that he was really mistreated by the members, the former members of the Security Council. Number one, it is constitutionally stated that he should be part of the team whenever they have a meeting, but he was literally kicked out. And this has left him a very vexed man. He was angered by this and he complained about it. It did not end there. These members, Mr. Ruto says that during the campaigns, some of them, people like Fred Matiang'i, who was the minister in the internal security, Karanja Kibicho, who was his permanent secretary, Hilary Mutambai, who was the inspector general, or inspector general is also part of the National Security Council. Our president complains that they campaigned against him. They used the Kenyan administration, people like chiefs and county commissioners, to campaign against him. And if you look at the kind of outburst, the vehement complaint that our president raised during that time, it shows you just how desperate our president was then, because he was playing second fiddle to his boss, Mr. Uhuru Kenyatta. And he complained that he was not given due respect as the deputy president. If you watch that video, in fact, our president was giving them an ultimatum, and he told them this was happening just a few days into our presidential elections, and he told them that their days were numbered and that he was going to deal with them once they exited power.
Those who are sponsoring evil, those who are sponsoring pamphlets, we know you. You tried, the DCI tried to bring issues of post-election violence. He was told off by the president. I want to tell my friend, Mr. President, the same way you told off Kinoti when he started that nonsense of post-election violence, please tell off the characters at the office of the president who are now printing pamphlets to cause disharmony in the Republic of Kenya. They need to stop because they are not about to succeed. 7 days, we will send them home and the people of Kenya will live together in harmony. Simuliona siku ingine Kinoti alituletea ile ujinga, alienda kubeba watu wa post-election violence akapeleka kwa ofisi yake. Si Uhuru Kenyatta alimwambia awache ujinga? Ni kweli ama si kweli? Nataka nimuulize rais, kuna wajinga wengine kwa ofisi ya rais pale, wanazunguka huku, ati wanakutana na machifu usiku, wanakutana na viongozi wa serikali wengine, ati wanapanga kuvuruga uchaguzi, wanajaribu kuambia machifu eti watafute watu sijui 50 sijui 30 katika kila polling station, ati ili walete shida na wavuruge uchaguzi tarehe 9 mwezi wa 8. Mheshimiwa Rais, tafadhali, vile ulimwambia Kinoti awache ujinga, waambia hawa kina Matiang'i na Kibicho wawache ujinga na waende nyumbani. Tumekubaliana jameni?
Hii mambo sasa, Kenya is better than this. Some of these things we are seeing are lowering even the standard of leadership in the country. Hatujaona viongozi wa kiburi na matusi namna hii. Eti sasa wewe kazi yako ukienda pale kuongea lazima useme oh Matiang'i Kibicho. Matiang'i Kibicho ndio manifesto yako. I mean kura ni lazima useme mambo yako ya kura vile unataka kutendea wananchi namna hii ndio manifesto yako. Sasa siku gani Matiang'i Kibicho wamekuwa manifesto yako? Sasa Kibicho Matiang'i, Kibicho Matiang'i, Matiang'i Kibicho. Hiyo ndio manifesto yako. Sasa wewe unauzia wananchi. Ninaomba viongozi wa kisiasa, tafadhali, sisi kama watumishi wa serikali tuko tayari kabisa kuhakikisha kwamba tunafanya jukumu letu kuhakikisha kuna amani na usalama wa kutosha. Mahali kuna shida, tutaingia zote kabisa kwa nguvu tuhakikishe kwamba tunasuluhisha hayo. Lakini tafadhali kuenda pale kuattack public servants, kuwashambulia huko, kuanza kusema kabila yao ni hii na kabila hii. Sisi hatuna kabila, sisi kazi yetu ni kutumikia.
And today, ladies and gentlemen, there is a possibility that our president might revisit the events that took place, how they mistreated him. Because if you look at both the president and the deputy president, they have complained that they suffered under the former regime. The deputy president, for example, says that several charges of corrupt deals were leveled against him, and he says that these were only political because he decided to support William Ruto. And so now that they are in power, I'm telling you that they could avenge. But how are they planning to do it? This is what I want to try and delve in. Just 2 days ago, the president disbanded a special service unit. This unit was created and it was being headed by the DCI.
Yetu watupatie nafasi tuifanyie ukarabati na tuipange iweze kwenda mbele. Walikuwa na miaka 5 ambayo walitumia kuharibu mambo ya nchi yetu. Uchumi ikaharibika, tukawa na madeni, mambo ya usalama ikaharibika, polisi wakabadilika wakawa ni watu wa kuwaua Wakenya badala ya kuwalinda. Tumevunja ile ilikuwa inaitwa special sijui nini ya police ambayo ilikuwa inaua Wakenya kiholela. That is the history we want to forget. Let our competitors not remind us of the many things they did against this country. We have also a plan on how to secure this country so that we avoid the shame of Kenyans killed through extrajudicial killings and put in Yala River and other rivers. We're going to secure this country going into the future. So I want to promise the people of Kenya that Kenya is on sound footing, and we have a plan that will take this country into the future.
And if you remember, the Deputy President DCI, the Deputy President Mr. Rigathi Gachagua, has always maintained that the junior officers of the DCI were sent, especially on Friday, to go and apprehend members who were allied to Kenya Kwanza, so that they could spend a whole weekend in cells, and they were manhandled, they were mistreated, they were never given the respect that befits the stature of the leaders that they were. And so the president, in his wisdom, decided to disband this unit. This elicited different reactions. Some felt that this was unconstitutional. In fact, Junet Mohammed questioned this in Parliament. He questioned the Attorney General to explain whether this was constitutional. But others welcomed the move because Deputy President, our President explained that this special unit was responsible for extrajudicial killings, and many members who were found in Yala River were butchered and murdered by this very special unit. I want to believe that our president knows what he's talking about because he was part of the administration. He was part of the last administration. And now it calls for some thoughts, ladies and gentlemen. Because immediately after our president disbanded this unit, several rights groups, several human rights groups came up asking the president to establish a committee to look into the activities, hidden activities that were being carried out by these officers, by this office.
Those officers implicated or who were part of that unit must be investigated. The killings they committed must be brought before a court of law.
These are very grave allegations involving lives, and we think that we need a commission of inquiry. First of all, to understand what has been going on, why it has been going on. You have to remember that Flying Squad was disbanded, and Flying Squad was also famous or infamous for certain things. And so that is why we are asking for concrete action on accountability, so that this does not become like the past, where we do away with one to begin another one.
And so I want to submit to you that in the event that this committee shall be constituted, if it is true that this unit, this office was used to murder innocent Kenyans, or some robbers, or some members of queer character, or some terrorists, because I think the law says that if someone is found culpable, natural justice, the law of natural justice indicates or states that they should be given a chance to explain themselves, to defend themselves. But it seems that this unit was used to finish them, to kill them without taking them to a court of justice. And so the human rights groups are asking for investigation. So, in the event that any investigation is going to take place, ladies and gentlemen, if at all they executed and they murdered innocent Kenyans, they will explain under whose order they were acting. And I want to believe that names of people like Karanja Kibichu, who was the permanent secretary in the Ministry of Interior, the Interior Cabinet Secretary Fred Matiang'i, the Inspector General Hilary Mutambai, the DCI George Kinoti, their names will feature. And I want to believe that if you look at the past events, how they mistreated the current administration, they will not be spared. And they will be called upon to explain any role that they played in the murder or execution of such deaths. And if they are found culpable, ladies and gentlemen, they could be taken to jail. The other thing that comes to mind, if, for example, the former cabinet secretary in the Ministry of Interior, Fred Matiang'i, is found guilty, he will also explain that he was acting under some order. And who else can give a minister orders to obey? It is none other than the President of Kenya. And this means that Matiang'i, Hilary Mutambai, people like Karanja Kibichu could explain that they were acting under the orders of none other than the former President of Kenya, Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. Because under the Constitution, the President is the commander-in-chief of all the armed forces, and that includes the police and the military. And so in the event that all these cabinet secretaries are found guilty, they will be found guilty together with the person who was giving them these orders, and that is none other than the President of Kenya. And so, ladies and gentlemen, the disbandment of the Special Service Unit that existed in the DCI's office could be used to apprehend and prosecute the former President of Kenya and his entire team of the former National Intelligence Service, the National Security Council. I don't know what you think from where you sit. Do you think it is proper for the Ruto administration to call upon Mr. Matiang'i and perhaps the entire team that constituted the former members of the National Security Council to explain about the murders that he talked about? Do you think they should be investigated? Do you think they should explain why he was excluded from the meetings while he was supposed to be part of his constitutionally? And what do you think can happen if they make good their threat to arrest and investigate them? And what do you think can happen finally if that team is found guilty and they are taken to jail? Do you think it will hit the political temperatures? Do you think it will be a lesson to leaders who are in power so that they don't? I just want to hear what you're saying. I just want us to. I just want you to tell me what you think. Do you think it's proper, or do you think it is witch hunt? Ladies and gentlemen, let us interact and thank you. If you're watching for the first time, ladies and gentlemen, again, I want to remind you to subscribe.